The creature inside my brain. If I have no ties and no affections, hatred and vice must be my portion. If you recognize that quote, it is by the creature from Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. I chose to read this poem that I wrote back in 2012, which was when I was in high school when I read Frankenstein. And since I've been sharing my poems on here, I was looking for something to share, and I found this. And as cringy as it feels to share a poem from high school that I wrote in high school, the timeliness, since if you haven't already watched Guillermo del Toro's new Frankenstein movie, you definitely should. I really thought, like, I have to share this. So bear with me and come along for this journey as I read The Creature Inside My Brain. I think we're all just trying to feel something. Really feel something. It's almost like hunger pains. You feel empty, a vacant shell, a void needs to be filled. But it's not so clear on how. Your mind is not the simple machinery your body is. It runs on a type of energy source that is not so easy to harness. Where do we obtain it? We cannot just buy some feelings at the store. They must be created by an action, a sound, or even a memory. I sit hungry for passion, for love and affection. But how do we satisfy these cravings when we are mostly alone? We replace them with another desire: pain, hate, despair. They fill the bare casings of our brain. It's more easily attained. Putting on a sad record and crying, drinking and numbing away the emptiness, agony of the razor blade, opening up your skin. Thank you for sitting and listening to that. As much as it really feels like a juvenile processing of what emotions are, that's what Frankenstein is, right? He is experiencing being alive for the first time, and being a teenager, you're experiencing all these things for the first time, and it's really painful. And I think I do a really great job at capturing some of those things that we've been talking about the brain, right? What is the brain doing for us? And as much as it's oftentimes trying to protect us, it's trying to conjure up something to feed it, right? And so in the poem, I'm talking about how the brain, like the stomach, gets hungry for memories and affection and love and all these things. And so when we're experiencing it in the brain, it will do whatever it has to do to fill in those empty gaps, right? With hatred and anger and all those things. So that's why it's really important to move from the brain, which we've been talking about with the hermit ear, and into the body. Because the creature in the brain, once moved into the body, realizes that this is being alive and doesn't need to find these sources, outsource these feelings. So, like I said, it was a little cringy to read something like that, but I thought it was perfectly relevant. And if I wrote something like this 13 years ago, that thread of what I've been working through since this amount of time, like it is a slow process, and it shows what the journey looks like. I didn't just come to this place where I'm spiritually aligned I had to work and process through these things. So hopefully, like, hearing my process, my internal dialogue, kind of models what that could look like for you. Um, so yeah, thanks for listening. Okay, so I'm scrolling through this compilation of poems that I made called Creature Concerns. I definitely have this affinity for creature vibes, and so once again, with the whole Frankenstein thing, I think it's just a really timely moment to share these. And this poem in particular that I found, it kind of explains why I'm including sharing my poetry as part of my spiritual practice. Because I've never planned on sharing this poetry, but I really feel like it is part of what I'm meant to be sharing with you guys. So this poem is called Poets Are People, and I include a quote from E.E. Cummings. They say, "Whenever you think or you believe or you know, you're a lot of other people. But the moment you feel, you are nobody but yourself." And so here's the poem. Every living being is just a compact wave of energy and space, tiny and separate, and part of a whole. People. Part of a larger consciousness. Poets. Individualize that consciousness. Take what is theirs, they make it ours. Take what is compact and make it whole. So I kind of break down what it is to be alive, what it is to be part of this greater consciousness, and how poetry individualizes that experience can only come from the one person. So by sharing my poems, I am sharing my individual experience and my words with you, once again, to model and to show and to make whole what it is this experience is. The poem said it better, which is the point, right? But I'm really finding some joy in this. I hope you are enjoying listening, and I will continue doing this until somebody makes me feel weird about it. But so far, I've only had positive feedback. So thank you for listening. Please like, subscribe, send and share this with a friend. That's the best way that you can help, and your viewership and listenership it means the world to me. So thank you very much.